focus on. So that when we talk about mental illness also, it really refers to collectively all diagnosable mental disorders. And some of those, they do affect our change, they do affect us, meaning they bring changes to how we respond to any small situation. So we have to be very, very intentional and be able to listen to our body, meaning you need to understand your body, how it works, and anytime you experience any symptoms, we need to be able to seek help. So that brings me to my next question. When I talk about mental health literacy, that is really being able to recognize your body when something is not right, or someone that you love, when you see them and realize that that's not what they're supposed to do. Are you able to know what to do with them? Can someone tell me here, if someone was having a crisis right now, what do you do? So that crisis will happen. Those are something we can control. Some yes we can control, but those that we don't. We need to be able to refer them. So when we refer, that means we need to know where to refer them to, right? So we need to educate ourselves of what resources we have. And as they say that, especially people, because they know when you talk about mental illness, a lot of our black communities seek help when they're in a crisis. Because as we know, we have many other factors that sometimes maybe people don't have access to services. Maybe we try to access services, but your experience was not the best. So you choose not to. But that's not the best. Because at the end of the day, the symptoms are still continuing to manifest. So we don't want to wait until someone is in a crisis. Because we know that mental health is treatable. But it is treatable when we intervene early. But we don't want to wait until you get to that crisis. And some of this mental health, mental illness disorders that we know, if they're not treated early, they manifest into psychotic disorders. Does anybody know when you talk about psychotic disorders, what they are?
Commit suicide, do things, try to take their life.
The brain being disordered. So you find when it gets to that psychotic, then you need to be managed and at least stabilized by medications. Because at that time, there is a lot going on. We talk about the other disorder that I can't now put up here, I was going to project, that would give us a few of the symptoms that we have, mental health disorders that we have that are very common within us. We do have the common mental health disorders. Which ones do we usually know? Anxiety and depression. Those two are mostly the most common illnesses, but they are real. They do exist. Does anybody know what someone who's displaying some anxiety disorder symptoms would look like? Any idea? Yeah.
Heart racing.
The heart races. But again, someone is about to have a public speaking like now. The heart can race. Your hands will get numb. That doesn't mean it's an anxiety, right? So it has to affect your normal functioning, whereby you just might lose blood, your heart goes, the heart goes like to a point you're just about to pass out, and also plus others. So those are some of the symptoms we need to educate ourselves so that we don't see someone just having the heart race or something and we just say, oh, that's an anxiety, something that I'm panic about. So we need to educate yourself, and that's what I was talking about mental health literacy. That is something that we all need to be aware of when we talk about mental health literacy. So let me ask a few questions here. When we talk about mental health literacy, what does that mean? So we have 6 components of mental health literacy. The first one is having the ability to recognize specific disorders or different types of psychological distress. Will you be able to recognize if you don't know them? That's why we need to educate ourselves to know what are they, what do they look like. I think it's important to know that not just for ourselves, but for our loved ones and for those that we come into contact with. Also, there is also knowledge and beliefs about risk factors and causes we need to know. Also, understanding what beliefs about self-help intervention. We know, I talked about many of us sometimes we only want to access services when we're in a crisis. You start feeling some symptoms happening, or we end up just push them aside. But then, do you know that are you able to recognize that I need to seek help right away without waiting until we get there? Also, another one is being able to have the knowledge about professional health. And also attitude which facilitates cognition of seeking, and also how to seek value information. So those are the ones that we need to be able to take it. So okay, and I would love, yes, that's good. Okay, just to set the stage so that we are able to understand these things, and that's why I wasn't about to say it's good and we don't have a privilege to go deep into this, but just being able to understand that mental health is the state of well-being when you're able to do your normal functioning, but illness is now when it is the opposite. So please let us always be very intentional about even the things we expose ourselves to. You'll be able to recognize what are my triggers so that you can be able to know your limits, because that's the only way we can be able to support our community members. I was also going to talk being able to be the advocates for those around you. Let us be the ones to advocate. If you were taking someone even to see a doctor, or when you go to the doctor, you want to know what you're suffering from, what are the symptoms, what you need to do. You ask the doctor questions. We need to do the same even for mental health disorders. So let us not shy off of those. And many times, one thing I want to mention, because I belong to also a community of faith, we always go to our spiritual leaders when we are having issues. Like now, we just had prayers. That's who we are. So we want all of us educate even our spiritual leaders so that they are able to help us when we go to them. That is our goal as well. So that, because our spiritual leaders actually are gatekeepers, because they know us better, right? Our sister here knows the congregation better. My pastor knows me better. So if I have something, I will go to my pastor. So how will the pastor be able to help me? That's why the pastors also need to be knowledgeable about all this so that they can also help refer things that we need to talk about. So in that case, I will open it for any questions, and then we will dive deeper to see how can we collaborate with our faith leaders, with those that are community professionals, so that we can be able to really address this issue that we have for mental health and mental illness, because they are there. We've seen even suicides happening. I will not touch into suicide. I have also more information about that, so that we can talk about those. So let's be able to speak up, and let's be open to talk about mental health related issues, just the way we talk about any other physical conditions when we go to the doctors. But we usually recommend, don't just do medication alone. By the way, it's always good to have a therapist, especially right now. What is a therapist? Is really that trusted person that you can talk to pretty much about anything and feel confident. And we are bound, even with our license, that we do not discuss patient-client relationship. So it's always good to have that trusted person. And that's why we recommend when you're on medication, you need also to have like a therapist, someone that is going to guide you around taking those medications and being able, because there's a lot that goes with your brain, as I talked about, cognitive dissonance, whereby you need to know, why am I taking this medication? Because most people who decide not to take the medication is because of all the stigma and stereotypes we've had about medication. You just say the word cuckoo. Definitely they have side effects. That's why you have to be very open to your doctor or psychiatrist, the one giving you the medication, so that they can prescribe the right medication that is going to work for you, because some actually can give you the opposite effect. So it's always very important to talk about your symptoms to your doctor, to your psychiatrist, so that they are able to give you the right diagnosis, to be able to get the right medication. We have a lot of people, especially our communities of color, that are misdiagnosed just because of that. Because you go to a psychiatrist's office just because you haven't opened, you have not connected yet, it's considered that might be another disorder right there.
That's
This
actually
person is
what
a
happens
physician.
to me, just in case anybody goes to the hospital. Like, listen, if you're not having face eye contact with them, it's an issue. They're gonna put medications on you because you're not communicating with them well. And you know, I'm listening to everything you're saying, but I've gone through so much in the mental health system that I know sometimes they're not there to help.
That's why actually I'm saying we need folks that understand also some of those cultural issues, because when you talk about you're not looking at me, maybe my culture, that's respected, but maybe they're above me, if they're an authority figure or something. Competent to be able to know the person I'm saying. I tell you that I've had a lot of folks who decide to not see their therapist or their doctor because they're like, they don't know what they're doing, they don't understand, because they miss that cultural aspect, and that's very important and very necessary. And right now, that's why it's very important that the first session you're meeting someone, you want to gauge and see how that conversation is going. And if it's not, because it is your health, this is your life, you're the one to get the right person and make sure that there's a connection. Yeah, it's very important, because that's what is going to allow you and your clinician to have the right diagnosis. Then, or if it's just psychotherapy, then you are able to understand.
Person, because they will take every word that you say and hold it against you. They will say they're for you. Not all of them are.
And actually, those are now some of those psychotic disorders that we'll go deep into, because anything is questioned. There's a lot that we need to look into to make sure that people get the right diagnosis and are given the right medication if they need them, and also they have the right resources. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any youth who has a question to her?
I know you.
Okay, I set up a date where we all can come and discuss it deeper, because we really actually need, we are suffering, we are hurting, families are hurting, we have lots of suicide, we have so many things going on. That's why Amwag decided to come up and with our pastor here, so that we can just give an introduction, overview, so that we can set a date for all of us to come. And please, I'll contact you again so you can come in. So we have at least 2 hours. How many hours will it take for everything, for us to understand?
It'll be too much information. Let's do it. Let's
Like
do it gradually. We don't want to overwhelm.
Exactly. Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Since when we have issues, we have to go to them and we have to recognize them. Praise the Lord. I'm going to come up Elizabeth to say announcement. I know we are very tired, extremely tired. So, but I'm going to give Mama Elizabeth, come and give us a few announcements, 1 minute, and those who didn't give an offering, we can give an offering to seconds and people came in late. So it's going to take only less than 2 minutes and we're done. For you guys, food to bless you. So that's what I'm telling you, we have powerful women in the community and we love them, and we're going to make time so they can come and speak to us next time. Blessed be your holy name.
Praise the living God. It's announcement time. Starting from the home church.